Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another broadcast here on IdahoSports.com, brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. Tonight, you're looking live at Moscow, Idaho, as we are here for a game, a White Pine League matchup featuring the Logos Knights, the hometown team, and the visiting Lapwai Wildcats. Lapwai coming into this game at 4-2 on the season, while Logos, still inexperienced, still learning here, comes into this game at 2-5. So, all-important game here for Lapwai as they hope to move up in the standings in the White Pine and improve their playoff chances. Up here in the booth, got me, the play-by-play commentator, Garrison Hardy, and joining me tonight, first time this season, first time in a couple of years actually, is the coach, Greg Hardy, my father. Greg, how you doing? It sounds
doing
weird to
great.
call you
Good
that.
to be here for Jason.
Yeah. Jason Hansen is, of course, off watching his daughter so we got the, states coming up for volleyball at this time. Is that right?
That's districts right now and moving on toward the state tournament here in a couple of weeks.
So best of success to Jason, the Genesee Bulldogs, as they're in action tonight. But we've got some football here for you, some Saturday night football. Typically across on IdahoSports.com, we have 10-plus games going each Friday night. And tonight, we're the lone show for you here on our network. And, of course, you can find us and all our streams and all our content over on IdahoSports.com. We've got a whole army of photographers. We've got sports writers, courtesy of Brandon Bainey. He does a great job keeping the content flowing for our network. And then, of course, we've got this game here. And Jason and I have been here a couple of times now for Logos. Earlier, we were here as Logos took on Timberline out of Weippe and dispatched Timberline pretty handedly in their opening game, their first ever varsity game. So it was a pretty thunderous occasion to come in to the varsity level. And then we were also here as Logos took on Clearwater Valley. The visiting Rams had certainly a powerful attack as they put 80 on Logos, and certainly Logos is going to hope to avoid that as they come up against a powerful Lapwai offensive attack this season. Lapwai has scored over 40 points in all of their wins, and their two losses, they were under 20. They were under 40. So if Lapwai can score over 40 points, they could be in for another victory. On the nights they did win, they dropped 58, 60, 70, and 44 respectively. So we'll see what they do here tonight. For Logos, things have been some tough sledding for them, but they are coming in off of a win over Troy, 66-20. So they'll hope to keep that momentum flowing forward throughout the season. Again, they started with the win, then they had 5 straight losses before that win at Troy. So perhaps some positive momentum here, but Lapwai, they have a lot to play for. They come into this game at 4-2. Last night, Jason and I were in the booth for Prairie versus Genesee. Genesee was in at 5-1. Prairie was 6-0. Prairie came out the victors, scoring over 80 points on Genesee. Genesee was able to put up 50, and normally 50 points, that's enough to get the win, but when you're facing a team like Prairie, that is not the case. So Genesee falls to 5-2. Lapwai comes into this one at 4-2. If Lapwai wins, they will also move to 5-2, and they will win the tiebreaker as they defeated Genesee earlier this season by a score of 70-36. So Lapwai, a lot to play for here as they get ready to take the field. Logos there huddled up, and it looks as though they are going to kick things off. So Lapwai is back deep to receive. They got a couple of Wildcats already. I can't make out the numbers back there. I believe that one of them is number 28, Layson Morrill. And then on the far side of the field, that looks like number 4, Mason Brown, so a pair of Masons. And then for Logos, set to kick is number 11, Roman Nutbrock. He's been the senior. He has been the main kicker for the Knights this season. And typically they start things off with the an onside has always been a part of Logos's kickoff. So we'll see what they come up with here. It's a clear night here in Moscow. Wind is breezing ever so slightly. Got the Moscow Mountains in the background, and of course the rolling hills of the Palouse behind that. Can see the moon out clear as day. And this is our first time as well under the lights here in Logos's brand new field. All right, we are all set to go here live from Moscow, Idaho. The Knights are set to kick. Lapwai ready to receive. Nutbrock. Here we go, folks. He sends that down the middle, and it is blown dead. We're off like a herd of turtles, as my dad would say. We've got quite a crowd here, and it's still filtering in behind us. We got a very full parking lot and a fleet of vehicles coming in still for this 6 o'clock start. So offsides is the call against Logos. And that's going to be a 5-yard penalty, and that'll back up the opening kick. So here we go. Second time's the charm. Again, back deep to receive for the Wildcats, number 4, Mason Brown, and number 28, Layson Morrill. And this time, no flag, and this one goes to Morrill on the left side, near side correction. He gets through the first throw. He battles through another tackle, and he's finally brought down past the 40-yard line into Logos territory, so some excellent field position to start for the Wildcats. And making his way onto the field is the quarterback, Titus Year-Out, the senior. He's committed to the University of Idaho for basketball. And he is quite the athlete here, and he's a dual threat quarterback. So we're going to see how Logos handles him, tries to keep him in the pocket. Currently, they have 3 down linemen in this defensive set, so they're probably going to have some outside linebackers to help deal with this. Year-Out comes in the shotgun. He's got trips to the top of your screen there, far side of the field. Year-Out takes the snap. He's going to roll right. Cuts back upfield. Excellent containment there from the Knights. And he's brought down after a pickup of just 1.
You know, that's going to be something that's very important for Logos tonight, is to be able to control the line of scrimmage. And if they can do that, there's a possibility they could stay in the game. But Lapwai has some offensive firepower.
That they do, scoring over 40 points on all of their wins this season. Trips to the far side of the field once again, same formation. Logos showing pressure up the middle. Year-Out throws it to the far side. It's caught by number 23. That's Elias Year-Out. Correction. And he's able to pick up a gain of about 6 on the play. It's going to make it 3rd and manageable here for the Wildcats. Staying on target. It's going to be 3rd and 3. Here come the Wildcats making their way up. Once again, shotgun set, but this time we got a receiver on either side and a tight end on the far side. And one back in the backfield. They're going to fake the handoff. Play action. Year-Out. Looks deep. He's got a target. And it's incomplete. Excellent coverage there from number 12 of Logos. That was Liev Comis, the senior. Oh boy, that was a good shot there. Year-Out put the ball right where it needed to be.
There's also good coverage, though, by Logos, and brings up 4th down.
That's our 4th and 3. Lapwai is spotted at the 32-yard line in Logos territory. 3 receivers in the set, 1 back in the backfield for Year-Out. Year-Out takes the snap. It's an option play here. He keeps it himself, falls forward, and he may have gotten it. We'll see where they spot this. And it does appear as though he has moved the chains. 1st down in favor of the Wildcats. Their 4th down opportunity is a 4th down conversion. 9:55 to go here in quarter number 1. First and 10 now. Fresh set of downs for the Wildcats. Trips to the near side of the field. Titus Year out in the gun. Alone by himself. Year out. Back to pass. Looking. Rolls left. Throws it left. And this one's caught through contact. Excellent catch there by number 23, Elias Year out. And that has been his favorite target. We got the Year out connection. Last night, Jason and I were talking about the Wareham connection. Brother to brother. So another first down, just like that for the Wildcats. Moving into the red zone. Just over 9 minutes to go here. Trips to the far side of the field. That is a bunch set, has been the Wildcats' main set thus far. Year out, takes the snap. He's going to roll right. Being pressured heavily, throws it across the formation. Caught, touchdown. And that was number 4, Mason Brown, on a deep crossing route. Lapwai strikes first. So that was a deep post across the formation. It's sometimes it can get a little confusing covering those bunch sets like that, not knowing where your man's going. So at just under 3 minutes, Lapwai is on the board, and they're going for 2 here. It's incredibly rare to see any field goals in 8-man. Year out's going to take the snap, rolls right. It's a corner out over the top, and this one is incomplete. The coverage there was number 34 of Logos, Jonathan Morrill, the sophomore. So the score remains 6-0 in favor of Lapwai. So first drive, first blood. Pretty successful and opening way to start things here if you're Lapwai.
Yeah, you know, I think it's very important that Logos gets off to a good start and help build the team's confidence. So if they're going to stay in the game, they're going to need to answer.
And that they certainly have shown the ability to answer this season. In Logos's games thus far, they put up 58 points, 28 points, 24 points, 44 points, 66 points. So this is a team that knows how to score. They just have not been able to put a full 4 quarters together. I've spoken to Coach Holloway on numerous occasions, and it's just a young and inexperienced team for Logos. Even though they have a lot of seniors, they haven't played football that much. Just a new venture in general.
First year of varsity.
So Lapwai set to kick things off here. Kicking for the Wildcats is the big number 55, Sage Lone Bear. And Jason and I have heard a lot about him and his ability to open up some holes here for the Wildcats. We'll see what he does with his kicking power. Back deep to receive for the Knights are the ever-dangerous number 8, Solomon Howard, and number 12, Liev Comas. Our last trip here to Logos, each of them had a kick return for a touchdown. So I'm sure Lapwai is going to want to keep it out of their hands if possible. Lapwai set for the kick, and we have the all clear from the official. And this one is pooched into the second row, and well, we'll start with a flag for Lapwai as well on this kick, and that looked like offsides. It was the call. So that'll be a 5-yard penalty and back the Wildcats up and give Logos a little bit more shot here of getting a solid return. Beautiful night here in Moscow, Idaho. The sun is setting behind us, and cars are still making their way into the parking lot here. We've got ourselves a packed house.
Yeah, it's my first time here at Logos Field, and it's a beautiful setting for football.
Pretty new field here. In fact, according to the athletic director, Patrick Lopez, the school is actually going to be set up right next to this field. So big future plans here for Logos. The kick is over to Solomon Howard. It's brought in at the 20. Howard takes it. He's at the 30. He's at the 35. He's out past the 40. He jukes another defender. He's at midfield. He's out past midfield. Howard inside the 40 and brought down hard from behind. What an excellent start for Logos. Well, we talked about Logos needing to respond. There's a bit of a response there.
That's exactly what they needed. Give them a very short field and hopefully for them, they'll be able to punch it in and even this game up.
So the Knights will start things off here at the 27-yard line. 1st and 10, excellent field position. In the backfield is the quarterback, number 3, Jack Driscoll, and next to him is Liev Comas, and number 43, that is Aiden Elmore, the senior. Driscoll takes the snap, pitches it to the left. It's Elmore trying to get to the outside. He's got a hole. It looks like he's got an opening. Touchdown, Logos! Aiden Elmore, 26 yards. Just one play of offense from the Knights, and they're on the board.
Well, that was indeed a quick response.
Six, just like that. And now Logos with the chance to go up here by 2. Now, one thing they have struggled with at times was their efficiency with these 2-point conversions. We'll see what they come up with here. They come up with almost the same formation, except a receiver on either side. Jack Jackson Krapuschetz on the near side. Far side is Solomon Howard. They hand it off to Elmore. Once again, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Tries to get into the end zone, and it looks like he's stopped. So an excellent stop there from the Wildcats, and the score is going to remain 6-6. It looked like things maybe got a little jumbled on the handoff there, and the play in general just kind of got stuffed.
Yeah, I think Lapwai's defensive line was able to push the Logos offensive line back a little bit and right in the middle of the play.
So 6-6 here, 8 minutes and 30 seconds left in quarter number 1. Still plenty of time to get some more points on the board, and the fans at home will certainly love that. It wouldn't be 8-man football without a bunch of points. So Lapwai is already out on the field, ready to go. Logos getting their kick team out set. And we'll see if they learn their lesson from the first time and don't jump off sides.
Well, one-play drive for a touchdown is about as quick as you can respond. So that was outstanding by Logos, and now we'll see what Lapwai can respond with.
Yeah, they must have heard you. They got somebody on the sideline listening to this. So once again, we're set for another kickoff, and we could be seeing a lot of kickoffs tonight. The kicker for Logos, number 11, Roman Nutbrock, the senior, is set to kick things away. And this time he approaches it from the left side and sends it deep, and it goes to the other side. That is number 4, Mason Brown, who caught the touchdown last time out. And Brown is brought down this time on Lapwai's side of the field, so a little bit better kickoff coverage there as the Wildcats will start on their own 45 this time. So 1st and 10 as the quarterback, Titus Yearout, makes his way out onto the field. And Coach, you've seen Yearout on the basketball court. Tell me, how do you think that's going to translate here on the field, his mobility, his athleticism, you name it?
Well, I think one thing that Logos will want to do is try to keep him in the pocket, not let him get outside. And because he's got good speed and also his moves are very difficult to stay with.
And they did a good job containing him there. He's brought down in the backfield for a loss of 2.
They'll need to gang tackle him just like they did right there in order to keep him from big yardage situations.
Excellent pursuit there from the Knights as they bring Yearout down. Looks like a loss of 1, actually, from where they spotted it. Oh, correction, now they move back. Loss of 2. So that's going to bring up 2nd and 12 now. Excellent first down play for the Knights. They've been finding a way to get in the backfield thus far. 2 receivers on the set here. Yearout's going to hand this one up the middle, and he's got a hole and is able to pick up some solid yardage there. The running back, that was Mason Brown out of the backfield. And he's going to make it 3rd and about 6 after the carry. 3rd and 7.
So key play here, 3rd down.
3rd and 7. This ball is spotted at the 48-yard line. 2 receivers in the set. Year out, back to pass. Looking, he's got 2 targets deep downfield, but he's being pressured. He escapes the pocket, and he's got more. He could be gone. Titus Year out with a lot of green in front of him. Touchdown, Wildcats. And, Coach, we were just talking about the escapability. There it is on full display.
Yeah, I think it's more important that they try to contain rather than pressure and force him to throw from the pocket rather than let him get outside like that, because he's going to be very difficult to stop once he gets out in open field. Great play by Urao.
So that will jump the score up 12-6 in favor of Lapwai. Oh, we just got the text from Jason Hansen. He is on his way. Unfortunately, Genesee fell 0-3 against Troy. Troy certainly known for their volleyball, as Lapwai is set to go for 2 here. Year out. Throws a quick red, and it's good. The 2-point conversion to Elias Year out is good, and that'll bump the score up 14-6, which means next time around Logos is going to have to answer with a 2-point conversion if they want to keep this thing tied. And let's talk about Logos' last drive. There's not much to talk about other than a long kickoff return and then a quick score. We certainly saw that Logos has athletes of their own.
They do. They've got some good speed, and but we'll see how again the offensive line handles the defensive line of Lapwai. Games are often won and lost on who controls the line of scrimmage, and it's been hard to tell at this point who's going to win out.
Another quick score update here. Our hometown Cougs have a 20-16 lead at half. So things have really bounced back. They were down 13-0 last at one point, and now it's 20-16.
Facing the Stanford Cardinal and Pullman.
Just 8 minutes away for those of you watching, wherever you're watching from, here on IdahoSports.com. Again, brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. 6:56 to go here in the first quarter. 14-6 the score. Lapwai just had a very quick drive of their own as they were held to a 3rd down, and then Titus Year out took it a mere 50 yards for the score. And back deep to receive for the Knights. Number 8, Solomon Howard, who had a great kickoff return last time, and number 12, that is Liev Comis, and it's going to go to Comis, and it's going to bounce out of bounds, actually. So a decision to be made here for Logos. Do they want to take it at the 40-yard line, or do they want a re-kick? We'll see what they decide. We've got some players for the Knights heading out onto the field, so it appears as though they're just going to take the ball at the 40, or 35, rather. And that is where they will set things up. 1st and 10 for the Knights as the Wildcats are out there. Defense is all set and ready to go. Again, last time was just a 1-play drive for the Knights from number 43. We've called his name a lot. That is Aiden Elmore, the senior. He took it 26 yards for a score. We'll see what they come up with here. 2 wide receivers to the far side of the field. Wildcats showing pressure off the edges, and they bring it. It's a slant route over the top. It's Liev Comis. 1 man to beat, and he does! Touchdown, Logos! 2 plays, 2 scores. You got to be kidding me. So Liev Comis just took it 65 yards for the score. So offense has been at a premium, or offense is free-flowing at this point for both sides.
We haven't even been 6 minutes into the game. We have 4 touchdowns on the board.
It's going to be an 85-80 kind of basketball score here. 2-point conversion coming up, and these could be all important here. Driscoll lining up next to Elmore and Comis, the one who just caught a 65-yard touchdown pass. They hand it to Elmore up the middle. He's got a hole. Dives in. It's good. So Logos ties things up 14-14 here in quarter number 1. And with 6:44 to go, we could be looking at 28-28 if things hold at this pace.
Well, it looked like there was a blown coverage on that because they had the 2 receivers to the far side of the field, and the receiver came open near side of the field off the end of the line, and he was all by himself. Nobody near him.
All by himself, indeed. Blown coverage there from the Wildcats, and I'm sure that Coach Layton will be discussing that with his team. And the Wildcats coming out to receive. Both times they had excellent returns, so we'll see what the Knights do this time as Roman Nutbrock leads his kickoff squad onto the field. Back deep to receive for the Knights. We have number 23, Elias Yearout, and number 4, Mason Brown on the far side of the field. Again, Lapwai is in their white and powder blue uniforms. Excellent combo, if I do say so myself. And Logos is coming out with their Penn State look. They're all navy, dark navy blue, and their white helmets. Glistening under the lights here at Logos's new field. All set for the kick are the Knights. Wildcats back deep to receive. 6:44 to go. Nutbrock kicks it, and it goes straight to Nick Holloway, just like he planned it. So all things considered, I suppose that's not the worst thing in the world as long as it keeps Lapwai's dangerous return team from running the ball all the way back.
It appears that Lapwai's going to have them re-kick it, though, so it's going to give their return man an opportunity from 5 yards back or 5 yards further up.
And it appears as though they are going to elect to do that. Holloway comes out to talk to Nutbrock, see what adjustments they want to make here for this kick. Again, beautiful night here. Logos's field. It's barely ever a breeze. The flag's not even waving anymore. Crystal clear. The Moscow Mountains in the background over there. Full moon almost.
Beautiful night for football.
And Saturday night. We're sharing it with the college guys. So here comes kick number 2, this time after the 5-yard penalty. And Nutbrock sends this one high into the air, but they're going to have a chance to return his Lapwai. And they do. But good coverage there from Logos. That was number 23, Elias Yearout. But he wasn't able to get into the second level, so he's brought down at the 47-yard line. But nonetheless, good field position for the Wildcats.
Yeah, it's going to be a short field for them. I think that's one reason you see in 8-man football a lot, either directional kicks or onside kicks, because you're giving them the opportunity with only 8 men to cover to return a long way, especially if you're kicking to speedy return men.
1st and 10, ball on the 47-yard line. 2 receivers in the set here, one on the near side and far side. I formation look. They're going to hand this one off to Mason Brown up the middle, the running back, and he powers his way forward for a pickup of about 7 from our vantage points. So a good way to start here on schedule for the Wildcats. It's going to bring up 2nd and about 4 from the looks of it. Second and 4. 2 receivers in the set. I formation look once again for the Wildcats. Yearout's under center. And the snap count got the Knights there. That was number 54 who jumped off sides. So Ben Carlson, the freshman. So it's a 5-yard penalty and a 1st down for the Knights. First and 10. Man-to-man on the outsides here with the receivers. And once again, Brown takes it to the right side of the field, but he's brought down after a short pickup, maybe a gain of 3. which will make up 2nd and 7. So 2nd and 7, we're now in Logos territory after all runs thus far. Ball is on the 37-yard line. And they take it once again. This time it is number 23. That's Elias Yearout. He's got the far side of the field, and he's brought down inside the 5. What a run there from Elias Yearout.
Yeah, speed is incredibly important in 8-man football, and he got to the outside and there was no containment left. Took it down the sidelines almost to the end zone.
5:15 to go and counting now, and we could be seeing our fifth touchdown of the day as Yearout takes it himself right up the middle. Touchdown. So back and forth all night, and Lapwai lands another blow. And that's Yearout's 2nd touchdown of the evening. And now they come for the 2-point conversion for the full 8 points. Yearout's under center, I formation, 1 wide receiver on either side. They're going to pitch it this time out to Mason Brown, who dances into the end zone for the 2. And that makes it 22-14 in favor of Lapwai.
With 5 minutes and 3 seconds left in the first quarter, that's the 5th touchdown of the night.
So Logos, plenty of time to respond themselves. Now, last time we were out here, Jason and I saw 120-something points put on the board, so we're on track. So Logos is going to get set for the return here. Assistant coach J.C. Christensen out there talking to the team as they get set. And on the far side, Lapwai makes their way out onto the field.
Well, as the game goes on, we'll see what kind of defensive adjustments each team can make. As it seems right now it's going to be the last team to have the ball, but I'm sure that there will be defensive adjustments as the game goes along, and may slow down the scoring.
With 5:03 left, we'll see if any adjustments have been made on Lapwai's side. As they're set to kick, Sage Lone Bear, the kicker, is ready to send this away. Back deep to receive, Solomon Howard and Liev Comis. Comis with a touchdown tonight. They're going to kick it his way. Bounces right into his chest. Comis takes it at the 20. He's at the 25. Stutter steps, and he's brought down hard by 3 Wildcats there. It looked as though he didn't quite make up his mind where he wanted to take that one and ran right into the teeth of that kick coverage. So 1st and 10, Lapwai with their worst field position of the night as they're going to start things off here inside their own 30. It's almost weird to be saying that for one of these teams tonight.
Well, both their drives so far have been one-play drives, so we'll see what happens here.
That's right, 2 quick scores for the Knights. Driscoll hands this one off to Elmore, and there's a fumble on the field. We'll see who's got it. It appears as though the Knights were able to corral it.
Yes.
So this drive will not be a one-play drive. It is, but the ball bounced forward, fortunately for Logos, and they were able to recover it. So that's a gain of about 4 on the play. So all things considered, that went about as well as you could hope. Clock is now rolling towards the 4-minute mark, 4:20. 3 Knights in the backfield next to the quarterback. That's Jack Driscoll. Driscoll takes the snap, slant route across the middle. It's caught by Solomon Howard, and he's brought down by a shoestring tackle out across the 40-yard line. Excellent tackle there from Mason Brown, but a good catch and run there from Solomon Howard, and that's the one thing dangerous about 8-man football is if he would have broken that, he could have been in the open field.
Yeah, like I said, speed is incredibly important in 8-man football because lack of 3 defenders. If you can get outside, and very difficult to catch someone who has great speed.
1st and 10 after the reception from Solomon Howard, his first of the day. Driscoll sends Liev Comas in motion. And he's going to pitch it wide over to Aiden Elmore, who tries to fight forward. And he's brought down after a gain of 1. That looked like Sage Lone Bear was in on that tackle. It's tough to move him around. Just a sophomore. Pickup of 2 on the play, 2nd and 8. Knights come to the line with 3 down linemen. They've got 2 receivers in the set, 1 on each side. Jackson Krapuschetz appears to be on the near side. Correction, that is Krapuschetz. And Comas, he's into the 2nd level. He breaks free for a 1st down and gets out to the 40-yard line into Lapwai territory. Comas already with a touchdown on the day, adding to his impressive numbers. And there's a flag on the play, though, so that play is negated. And it appears as though the Knights are going to be marching backwards.
That was a great run, though. It appeared that he was held up and all of a sudden popped out through the other side, and impressive run.
So after the penalty, it's 2nd and 20. So it appears to be a holding call, 10-yard penalty. Again, kind of a offset I formation in the back. Jack Driscoll lines up in the gun, hands it to Elmore up the middle, and he makes a large portion of that yardage back for the line of scrimmage, or for the original line of scrimmage, that is. And it's going to bring up still 3rd and about 12.
I think that's important for teams to make sure they can keep it 3rd and short, because once it becomes long yardage, not as many plays in the playbook to make that up.
3rd and 12. Comas goes in motion. Driscoll takes the snap. It's a slant route to Howard. It's caught, but he's hit hard from behind. Excellent pursuit there from Mason Brown of the Wildcats. So it's going to bring up 4th and 3, 4th and 4 roughly. So the Knights are technically within striking range of a 1st down, but tough decision to make here for Holloway. It appears as though they're going for it.
Yeah, I think they need to go for it with just to keep up with the scoring, as they haven't been able to stop Lapwai yet.
Minute and a half to go here in the 1st quarter. It's almost odd to see the clock running at this point. Driscoll, flanked by 2 Knights in the backfield. They're going to hand it to Elmore for a run, and he's stuffed in the backfield. What a stop from the fellow quarterback, Titus Yearout. He can do it all. And he's a pretty good basketball player, might I add, committed to the University of Idaho. So turnover on down for the Knights, and that's going to result in a 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. And the question is now, can the Knights find a way to stop this powerful attack? I formation look once again for the Wildcats, a receiver on either side. Yearout hands it off up the middle. That to his brother. That was number 23, Elias Yearout, and he's got a 1st down just like that. One play at 15 yards, it appears. It does look as though there may be a flag down, and there is.
Yeah, far side of the field.
And it's holding against the Wildcats, so that's going to, almost like Logos's drive, back them up. 10-yard penalty, and suddenly they're looking at a 1st and 20. As Kirk Herbstreit always says, do you want to kill a drive? Grab a hold of somebody's jersey. We saw that for Logos, but So this will not back them up as far as I thought it was going to, but still, it's going to be 1st and 12 after a first down on that original play. Year out, back to pass, rolling left, has to throw it downfield, and it's incomplete. The intended target for the Wildcats was number 32, Simon Henry, and on the coverage for Logos was number 34, Jonathan Morrill. So 2nd and 12 after the incompletion. And it's always a little tough as a right-handed quarterback to throw across your body like that, and that may have been why the ball was a little behind. Here's the 2nd and 12 play. We see that bunch formation coming back into effect for the Wildcats. Very tight formation here. Trips to the near side, and it's going to be a reverse here. It goes to Mason Brown, who tried to get to the outside, but good containment there from the Knights. And they're going to make it a 3rd and 6, let's call it.
Yeah, that's the first time we've seen that inside reverse from the bunch formation for Lapwai, and it seemed like they'd set it up well, but Logos did a good job stringing the play out and containing it.
So 3rd and 6, this could be a big one, folks. 2 wide receivers here on the near side of the field. That's number 3, Cross Taylor, the senior. And it's an option play here. It goes to Brown. Brown trying to get to the outside, has to cut back in. He breaks a tackle. He's still going and brought down hard from behind. Good tackle there, but that's going to be a first down for the Wildcats, which is the main mission there. Lucius Comas was in on the tackle. And that is the end of quarter number 1. And folks, I can safely say that was a boring first quarter. Let me tell you, only 36 points. Come on. 22-14 after 1. And we'll be right back after these brief messages. You're watching IdahoSports.com.
At Toyota's national sales event, we don't just help you get the perfect vehicle. We're here to open new doors that lead to your road to greatness. Your journey starts at Toyota's national sales event.
Toyota, let's go places.
At Toyota's national sales event, we don't just help you get the perfect vehicle.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to IdahoSports.com. We got the Logos Knights and the Lapwai Wildcats here for you up in District 2. We're in Moscow, Idaho tonight. And the Knights currently trail by 8, but it could be more here as the Wildcats are in the red zone now after a big first down play. So the Knights really need to make a stop here if they want to keep this in striking distance. Second quarter just about to get underway. Speaking of which, let me switch the scoreboard up. And we've got a run here. Titus Year out. He's got it himself. He's heading to the end zone. Touchdown. But there is a flag. We'll see what that is.
Happened right about the goal line, so whatever it was is toward the end of the play.
Yeah, there's a couple flags down there. Laundry all over the place. Officials are still talking it over, and the Wildcats are heading back to their huddle, so I assume it's against Lapwai. Correction, it's a... It looked like it was against Logos the way the official was pointing, so it's going to be first and goal here for the Wildcats. Backs against the wall now for the Knights. Now is the time to make a stop. Two receivers on either side, I formation look. Mason Brown in the backfield. Titus Year out under center. Year out takes the snap, pitches it left. Brown tries to get in, finds a hole. And they no signal for a touchdown, so the Knights must have stopped him short. But still, it's going to be 2nd and goal. Correction, it does look like they could gain a first down just before the goal line, the way they're holding up the sticks there. So 2nd and short. Year out's going to, there's a fumble! But it looks like the Wildcats were able to pounce on it, and it's going to stay their ball. Titus Year out with the quick hands there. He's able to pick it up, and the Wildcats are still alive. So last time Jason and I were out here, we counted 5 fumbles that Logos could have gotten. That continues here. So there's one that they could have gotten.
Yeah, that was a key opportunity for them there to stop this drive. But
still, it's 3rd and 5 now. Trips to the near side of the field. Year out's going to look that way. It's a corner out over the top. And he found his man. Touchdown. Lapwai increases their lead to 2 scores. That was number 23 on the reception, it looked like. That's Elias Year out. Brother to brother once again. So 28-14 the score now. A couple of touchdowns in front for Lapwai as they line up for the 2-point conversion. And this could actually be a big stop here for Logos if they're able to hold them out. 28-14, just over 10 minutes to go. Year out, takes a snap. Looking, it's back across the formation, and it's good. The 2-point conversion is in. That was number 32, Simon Henry, who corralled it. And it is a 16-point lead for Lapwai. 30 points on the board in just over a quarter. They're rolling right now. So, Coach, let's say you're in Holloway's huddle right now. You've given up 30 points in just over a quarter, and now you really need to go back and answer here and now. What are you telling your guys?
Well, I
in the
think
huddle?
you're just encouraging them. You know, they've gotten off to a good start offensively. They've made some big plays, and I just think that they need to go out and continue to do what they're doing. And then they have to hope that they have other opportunities for turnovers and things to get the ball back, because they really have not been able to stop Lapwai's offense.
That they have not. 30-14, and my goodness, there's a Jason Hansen sighting making his way to the booth as we speak. You're relieved of duty.
In his Oklahoma outfit, of course.
Of course.
I'll let you get ready.
Sage Lone Bear here for the kick. Sends it into the backfield here, and Solomon Howard just kind of has to dive on it. He tries to get back up, but this isn't the NFL. So he is going to be stopped there just a little bit past the 20. So Logos, once again, is going to have a lot of field in front of them here as they're going to be back inside their own 30. Lapwai's defense coming up with an important stop last drive on a 4th down attempt from Logos. But as we talked about, you know, Holloway probably saw that as, well, we need to stay stride for stride with them, so we'll see what they come up with here.
Seems like maybe go back to the play where they had 2 receivers to the far side of the field and bring the tight end straight down the field. See if you can work that magic again.
3 wide receivers in the set here. Driscoll sends Howard in motion out of the backfield, and a false start for Logos. And, well, that's probably not how they envision that play going.
Yeah, they're going to have to avoid penalties to make it a longer field for them.
So that's going to make it 1st and 15 now. The ball is inside their own 20. So they've got just over 80 yards of green in front of them before they're in the end zone. Logos comes out for their first down play. They swap sides of the formation this time. Jackson Krapushets is on the far side with Liev Comas. On the near side, we have Solomon Howard, the ever-dangerous Howard. They're going to hand it off up the middle, however, to Aiden Elmore. He spins away from a tackle and falls forward. He's able to get back close to the original line of scrimmage, just short. And it's going to be 2nd and 11.
Logos backs are doing a good job keeping their feet moving ahead, breaking tackles.
We'll see what they come up with here on this 2nd and 11. Don't have to get all the yards just yet, but you'd like to cut at least halfway through. 2 receivers on the near side. That's Solomon Howard and Liev Comas. On the far side, Jackson Krapushets. Pressure coming from the Wildcats. An out route to Comas, and it's incomplete. So unfortunately, that is going to bring up a 3rd and 11 situation here. The coverage there from Lapwai is number 23, Elias Yearout. Now, Logos has certainly shown their ability to convert these longer downs here. In fact, they've had a 65-yard touchdown. So if there's a will, there's a way.
It was definitely an important play here coming up. As first down is essential for Logos. Turn the ball back to Lapwai would be difficult.
9:33 to go here in the second quarter as Driscoll drops back. Post route over the middle. It's caught! Oh, it's incomplete, but there is a flag down. That did look like pass interference. The intended target there for Logos was number 30. That looked like number 33, and unfortunately I don't have a 33 in my program. So here's to you, whoever that was.
Looked like he actually came down with the ball, but must have got away from him on the way down. But as you said, pass interference. It's going to be a first down for Logos, which is
Massive.
Huge for them to continue this drive.
A massive penalty there. That Lapwai could have potentially been looking to close the door at this point, but Logos's drive stays alive. So it's going to be 1st and 10 now. Ball spotted just past the 30, 35-yard line. Offset I formation here for Logos. Driscoll hands it off to Elmore up the middle. There's a flag thrown almost immediately from the official, and Elmore's brought down in the backfield, but we'll see what the call is here, and it looks like it's against Logos. Holding on Logos is the call, so they get a big penalty going one way, and then it comes right back to them.
That makes it difficult, sets it up for long yardage again.
We're going to be looking at 1st and 20 here. If there's one positive, it's the down didn't change. But other than that, a lot of green in between that first down marker. Ball is now spotted just past the 20. We'll call it the 21-yard line. One receiver in the set on the far side, one on the near side, and then 2 backs in the backfield. Driscoll takes the snap. It's going to be a quick pitch to the left. Elmore tries to get to the outside. He's got it. Tries to get to the sideline, but he can't do that before he's brought down from behind. Titus Yearout in on the tackle there. And it also looked like Mason Brown was in on the tackle as well.
Looked like Logos was blitzing from the middle of the formation and allowed Logos to get outside briefly before Yearout came over and made the tackle.
It's almost like Yearout's fast or something. So it's going to be 2nd and about 15, pick up a 5 on the previous play. They're going to need a little bit more than that on this play if they want to make it 3rd and manageable. Driscoll takes the snap. Oh, correction, that's Seamus Wilson, the backup quarterback, who jukes upfield. And it looked like he found a crease there, but was met at the second level. So maybe picked up a couple there, but this is going to be a 3rd and 14, we'll call it. Seamus Wilson out, Jack Driscoll in, rather, the sophomore. Seamus Wilson's a freshman himself, so 2 young quarterbacks for this Logos team.
Well, they've had some success with some crossing routes or possibly look for a screen pass here in 3rd and long.
In at wide receiver, they have Liev Comas and number 11, Roman Nutbrock, here on the near side. Driscoll making an audible here. Lapwai looks like man-to-man on the outside. They're going to be pressure up the middle. Driscoll throws a deep go route, and it's out of reach. But the receiver there had broken past his man there. That was Taylor Cross on the coverage. Well, he was kind of out of the picture, so. Or Cross Taylor, rather. Excuse me. So it's going to be 4th and long, and at this point, Logos likely coming out with the punt team, and that looks like that's what they're doing with Liev Comas wandering back 10 yards or so. Now the snap is incredibly important here. Back deep to receive for the Wildcats. That's number 4, Mason Brown. He's got a touchdown to his name today. Good snap. Rugby-style kick high into the night sky, kind of a helicopter-style spin there. Mason takes it. He's out close to midfield off a stiff arm. He's got the far near side of the field, rather. Liev Comas, the only one in front of him. He's got a blocker in front of him. He's chased down from behind by Aiden Elmore, but still, what a return from Mason Brown. And just like that, Lapwai is once again knocking on the door.
Another reason why it's super important for Logos to avoid those early down penalties that puts them in third and long situations. When they give the ball back to Lapwai, it's very difficult to stop them.
8 minutes and 3 seconds. Lapwai in the red zone once again. Titus Yearout under center, hands it up the middle. This time to number 23, Elias Yearout. And he's brought down just outside the 5-yard line. So it's going to bring up 2nd and 5. Once again, the line to gain, the sticks are still up outside the goal line, so they could technically get a first down here. Yearout goes right back to Elias Yearout, and it's a touchdown. He prances into the end zone for 6 more for Lapwai. And suddenly this game looks like it could be getting out of hand. Now Lapwai will talk it over and decide what they want to do for this 2-point conversion here. That would make it 38-14. A receiver on either side. That's number 4, Mason Brown on the far side, and Cross Taylor on the near side. I formation look once again for Lapwai. And they're going to go right to the fullback up the middle. That's number 32, Simon Henry, who powers his way in for 2. And Lapwai suddenly is looking at a 24-point cushion. And still with 7:37 left here, there's plenty of time for Logos to do something, but then the question is, can they stop Lapwai on the other side of the field?
That's the big question. Things are, they really need to put a quick drive together on this possession, get their confidence back up a little bit, and then hope that they can cause a turnover. But Lapwai is full steam ahead right now.
And Lapwai has been all season, as we talked about earlier in this broadcast. Lapwai 4-2 on the season, and with Genesee's defeat last night falling to 5-2, Lapwai now has the opportunity to jump to 2nd in the White Pine League. So this is a very important game for Lapwai, and they're certainly acting like it with their performance tonight. Logos 2-5 on the season, inaugural varsity season in the White Pine League. So some inexperience and some growing pains were to be expected, and this is par for the course, unfortunately. But they've certainly got some athletes and some potential down the road, and that's what Holloway's banking on. And we're making a substitution here at broadcaster. Joining the panel now, Jason Hansen, my partner in crime.
Sounds like you're in good hands, Garrison.
Well, that's right. At least the camera is. Finally, we got a good cameraman.
That's right. That's right.
Solomon Howard takes this one inside the 20, spins away from a tackle, and he's brought down by a whole host of Wildcats. And Jason, you know, we were talking last night as the Prairie Pirates put a beating on the Genesee Bulldogs, how important this game is tonight for Lapwai as far as the standings go.
Without a doubt, and it's really one of those where it's good for them to keep moving forward, want to work out the kinks here. It looks like as they try to catch up to you that they got the offense going, but kind of looks like they got stung by a couple of things. So I think Coach Layton is definitely going to want to fix that as the game progresses, but also shows the improvement of Logos as they've progressed throughout their season to get better every game.
Yeah, we'll catch you up to speed here after this first down play here as Driscoll is giving an audible here to Comus in the backfield. Driscoll takes the snap and pitches it wide to Elmore. Elmore cuts back inside. Good containment there from the Wildcats, and he's brought down after a short pickup there. It's been run heavy tonight for Logos. So let's catch you, Jason, up to speed, shall we? Logos, on their first 2 drives, scored in 2 plays. Just 1 and 1. In the first, I believe it was 6 minutes, we had 4 touchdowns on the board. It was 14 all. And since then, it has been all Lapwai. Lapwai's defense has certainly woken up by those 2 scores, and now it's been full steam ahead for Lapwai ever since.
Well, and as you expect, you kind of think you have some stuff that you can do on film, and going to be exciting to see what Logos does out of this drive.
Driscoll fakes a handoff there, drops back, being pressured heavily, has to loft it to Comus, who stays on his feet, but he's brought down by Titus Yearout. And boy, oh boy, has Yearout had a solid game thus far.
Yeah, and Titus Yearout's doing a great job on both sides of the ball. You know, a lot of times we think of him as a basketball player, but here he is. A couple of big-time stops right there. That last possession, they had him funneled as a linebacker right to him, and that time he gets out there on the edge by himself, and he gets a big stop.
That's right. Titus Yearout, the basketball star, committed to the University of Idaho.
Go Vandals.
Go Vandals in that realm. They lost 71-21 today, but we won't talk about that. Blitz up the middle from Lapwai. Driscoll has to get rid of it quickly, and it looks like it's intercepted. We'll see what they call this. It looks like a fumble out of the interception.
Yeah, it looked like a little 50-50 ball right there. 2 great athletes battling for the ball, and it looked like the ground won.
That's right. The ground always wins, interestingly enough. So Logos will keep the ball, but as a result, it's going to be 4th and long here, so the punt team will make their way out onto the field. And so Titus Yearout, we mentioned him. He's already got a couple of touchdowns tonight. All of them, or most of them on the ground, interestingly enough. 2 of them on the ground, 1 through the air to his brother, Elias Yearout, interestingly enough. Brother to brother, just like the Wareham brothers last night. And here's the punt. Rugby-style kick from Comus into the night sky. Brown's going to take this one. He did not fair catch it. He loses it, but hangs onto it after it comes back down into his hands, and he's dogpiled by a bunch of Knights at midfield.
Boy, he didn't get very many yards out of that, but he's just lucky to have the ball back. The Logos cover team was right there waiting for him to catch it, and boy, that slippery little snake just jumped right back out of the air, and luckily he was able to fall right back on the ball.
And gentlemen, I got a quick score update for us. The Washington State Cougars now lead 27-16 over Stanford. So Max Borghi pounding it in from 2 yards out. And the Cougs extend their lead, and suddenly they're looking like they're making some noise up north here in the Pac-12 North.
Yeah, there you go. Always a good thing when Borghi has the ball.
Absolutely. Of course, that's small fry stuff for Jason over here. He's got his Oklahoma gear on. And
that's right.
National championship contenders. Yeah, what's going on with TCU, Jason? 1st and 10 here for the Wildcats. 3 receivers in the set, 2 on the near side. And there's a flag down. Looked like potentially a false start, and that is the call.
Garrison, has Logos tried to put a lot of pressure on Titus at quarterback spot, or have they been trying to wait back and see what happens?
Well, originally they were putting a lot of pressure on him. They were blitzing like crazy, and to their credit, they got him a few times, but eventually he broke it for a 55-yard-plus touchdown run. So ever since then, it's been more about containment.
Yeah, that's the tricky part about a run and pass quarterback like Titus.
Vince Young-esque.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
Rolling right, throws it over the top, and almost a one-handed snag, but it's incomplete there. And there's a flag in the backfield once again. Holding is the call against Lapwai. And so they are just shooting themselves in the foot right now.
Well, and hats off to Logos' defensive line right there, getting a little tricky with their moves and trying to get off those blocks, forcing the Lapwai blockers to maybe grab some cloth, and they're going to get punished for it.
5:41 left here in the second, or the first half, really. 24-point lead for Lapwai as they hope to move to 5-2 in the White Pine League. Jason, why don't you fill in our viewers at home what's been going on the volleyball side of things?
Well, the volleyball White Pine League tournament started off today, so they played in 2 different pods. In one pod was Potlatch and Logos, the volleyball Logos, obviously, Prairie and Lapwai. And in the southern pod, it was Troy, Genesee, CV, and Kamei. And for the most part, the Troy pod pretty much played out the way you would think it would be. The 1 seed Troy kind of showed their dominance a little bit. The 4 seed Genesee fell to them in the championship of that pod bracket, and then Kamei beat up on CV, so they advanced. So it's really where the winner of the pods go to state automatically, and then the other teams have to keep battling on Tuesday. And then the other pod in Potlatch, Potlatch was true to form. And then Logos stung Prairie and overcame them. So Logos and Prairie advance in the losers bracket, and Potlatch advances. So it's really one of those where it's just a good day for volleyball, and everybody was able to play out, and then it advances down to LCSC. So that way we spend some time down there enjoying the warmer weather, which is beautiful surroundings. I was excited to see Logos field tonight underneath the lights, and it looks great.
Absolutely. We can't see the scenery anymore, but nonetheless, the field is fully lit up, which is the important thing here as Year Out completes a short out pass, and they've got an opening here. This is number 21, Terrell Ellenwood-Jones, who gets close to the first down marker.
Great job securing the ball by Ellenwood-Jones right there, and shows why he's got those quicks, and all of a sudden he puts them right back into great field position here on second down, and picks up a huge chunk of those yards.
Yeah, it was 1st and 25 before that play. Now we're looking at 2nd and 3, just like that. So 22 yards on that completion. And now Lapwai with a lot of room to work with here on this down. Certainly on schedule. 3 receivers in the set, 1 back in the backfield. Year Out takes the snap. He's going to look left. Then he comes back right. Now he's being contained here. The Logos is calling for holding, but Year Out takes it the distance. Touchdown, Lapwai. Excellent speed there from Titus Year Out, as we've seen it on display tonight. And there's some talking going on here near side. Logos wanted some holding.
Well, it's one of those where it's obviously frustrating for Logos, where you think there was a hold in there, but Titus is so good about picking his seams, and he's going to jump back, and he's going to be able to run it like a running back and be able to attack him, and then he shows that burst, and pretty soon the defense is behind him.
And just like that, it's 44-14, and this game is officially blown open for Lapwai. Taking care of business, like we talked about, playoffs are looming for them. I formation look this time around. And they fake it to the fullback, pitch it wide to Mason Brown, and he dances into the end zone for 2. And it is now 46-14, a 32-point cushion for Lapwai.
Well, and Lapwai showing again how their athletes are just getting the ball. We saw that last night with Prairie and Genesee. Lapwai's cut from that same cloth, where pretty soon you got 6 or 8 athletes out there just getting the ball, and everybody's making big plays.
Well, Jason, I got to say, it's a little bit warmer out tonight. Last night, we were in the booth in Genesee, and boy, that has got to be the coldest football field in District 2. Maybe the state of Idaho, frankly, although there are some teams even further north than us. So maybe I'm speaking too soon there.
That's true, but we did cheat a little bit. We had your dad's heater out of his room. Don't tell him we still have to return that. But
maybe we'll keep it for Potlatch.
Yes, we will be borrowing it for Potlatch, that's for sure.
46-14 the score now, and things are going smoothly for Lapwai. Logos, on the other hand, making their way back out on the field for another chance to put some points on the board. And Jason, we've covered Logos 3 times this year, and this is a team that can score.
Yeah, and that's for sure. We've seen them score quick, too, and they score in bunches. It's going to be important for Logos to sustain a drive here a little bit. We've seen Lapwai pretty much just quick strikes. If they could get a 4-minute drive, and I feel like we're repeating a chapter here in our book where if they could get a 4-minute drive, I believe, against the Timberline game.
Right.
But if they could sustain a drive here and build some confidence, get some points right before half, that would probably do them well on both sides of the ball.
So Lapwai set to kick. 4:47 to go here in the first half. And Sage Lone Bear set to kick off. Probably the biggest kicker in the league.
Yeah, I would agree. I think we've seen them all, and he's definitely got them beat.
And Lone Bear angles this one to the sideline, and Wilson wisely lets this roll out of bounds. So that is going to be an illegal kick there, and looks like Logos is going to take it at the 35.
Yeah, and it was one of those tricky ones. We saw a couple of those the last couple of weeks where the kicker just puts it right on the sideline, and the return man has to make that decision. In this case, it's really going to cost you about 3 yards if they do take the penalty, unless they force the re-kick.
And interestingly enough, that's not the 35-yard line. That's more like the 37-yard line. So we'll roll with that.
Well, and if it rolls out before the 35, then you get the spot. So this sets them up in good field position here near midfield, that's for sure. That's what Logos was looking for.
So 1st and 10. Ball spotted on the 37. Shotgun set here for the Knights. 2 receivers near side of the field. One on the far. And they get the go-ahead from the pickup of 2 on that one. So 2nd and 8 is the call. And now we got some school spirit in front of us, so love to see it. One thing you love about high school sports.
That's true, especially when you're trying to warm up here in the stands.
That's right. 2nd and 8. Driscoll takes the snap, looking. It goes for the deep post route, and it's batted away. Cross Taylor. And there's a flag out. Got to admit, Jason, a little surprised at that one. I thought it was good coverage, but nonetheless, the official had a better view of it than I did.
Yeah, the official might say it was just a tiny bit early, kind of came over the shoulder just a little bit. It was excellent coverage. He did bat it down, get it out of his reach. But it's definitely showing athletes all the way across where you have an excellent receiver versus an excellent defensive back, and it's going to be a battle on every possession. And this time it's Coach Layton on the far side going, wait a minute, what?
So that's going to be a 1st down for Logos, and at this point in time, it's just nice to have some positive momentum rolling forward on offense here as they look to claw their way back into this game. Trips to the far side of the field. That's Liev Comas, Solomon Howard, and Jackson Crapuchettes. And their play is blown dead here. We've got a timeout for Lapwai.
Yeah, and I think that's a good idea by Lapwai, just kind of Coach Layton making sure his troops are thinking, okay, this is what's coming. They had that little bunch set, and then they motioned out of it. You wonder if maybe they were afraid of what was coming there. You know, Lapwai has the scoreboard, but they're still thinking playoffs. Okay, we got to make sure we're correcting ourselves and being good at what we're supposed to do here. And Logos maybe comes back to that formation and gets something out of that, because if they call the timeout because of it, that sometimes helps you.
So it'll be 1st and 10 coming out of the timeout here. 3:55 to go. Plenty of time to work with for Logos if they're able to put something together and put some points on the board just before half. Jason, let's go back to that White Pine playoff picture. So last night we obviously saw Prairie really give themselves some breathing room heading into a playoff conversation time. And, they get to finish the season up pretty comfortably against Troy, I believe it was.
Correct, yep.
And then for Lapwai, this is a big-time game, and they could potentially be moving up to 2nd place here.
Right, we mentioned last night with the whole bracketing situation that if you're not the 1 seed, then you're bracketed based on your RPI, let's say, with what the standings are, plus how the voters think. So it's important to show yourself as a polished team, and you want to get an easier at-home game in that first round.
1st and 10 here, and Logos sprints onto the field, gets in a huddle, and we'll see what they got on this 1st and 10. Three receivers in the set. Solomon Howard on the near side. Liev Comas and Jackson Krapuschetz on the far side. Howard goes in motion. It's a sweep, and there's a fumble, and the Wildcats are on it. Just incredibly unfortunate there. Howard just mishandled it.
Yeah, it's one of those where we saw it last night with some footing situations early in the game. As the temperature changes, the pigskin gets a little slippery, and unfortunately for Logos, it looks like that was a fumble and a turnover, and Logos is back in business.
So any positive momentum that was going there just snuffed out in one play. And now Logos has to come out on defense. They have yet to stop Lapwai on an offensive drive. So
yeah, and 10 seconds on the ball. You'd be surprised how much coaches spend trying to figure out, okay, given these conditions, which ball should we use? Which you don't really do in basketball because it's always dry and warm.
That's right. And there's a flag. If there's one thing that has been happening tonight, there's been flags, and it's been consistent all over the place.
Yeah, and that's I think both coaches would agree. You don't really want that to be happening at this point in the game, or at this point of the season, rather. You hope that your team is polished and they've worked some of those first couple of week jitters out. And Lapwai being a playoff team, you want to make sure you get some momentum off of it. And Logos, they have some older kids that, first season, all of that, but definitely one of those where by now they should have gotten some of that lineup situation corrected. Ooh, we got an update from your dad. I didn't quite hear it from afar.
Oklahoma
Oh,
leading
yeah, Boomer Sooner, baby. Come on.
38-24 over TCU. There's your college football update for a school you guys may not be caring about on the broadcast, but hey, it's important to us, all right? Just
That's right.
entertain us, God. Year out, back to pass, being pressured from the far side, but he's going to throw it deep, and it's nearly intercepted. If Comas could have gotten his head around a little bit quicker, that could have been an interception.
And we talked about athletes on both sides of the ball there. That was an excellent job by
Liev Comas.
Yes, Comas looked more like the receiver on that one, and he was able to, Ellenwood Jones was the reverse right there. So we've seen the matchup on the other side of the ball. This time they had to bat it away, and Logos is thinking, man, we had an opportunity right there.
And another update from here in the Palouse. Stanford just scored a touchdown and cut the lead down to 3 as Lapwai, they could be adding a touchdown of their own to the scoreboard, but he's tripped up. That is Mason Brown, who gets inside the 30 on a big first down run. And Lapwai back in business as they are in Logos territory.
Yeah, we saw him look a little pass heavy right there, and then they sting him with a quick run there with Mason Brown come from his running back spot. We've seen that running back come up and fill and do a good job trying to slow down the Logos defensive line. This time they hand him the ball late, and off he runs with the receivers taking the defense with him.
1st and 10 now. Ball is spotted at the 25-yard line. So they're in the red zone once again. I formation look, maybe going back to the run here. Instead, it's going to be play action. Year out, rolls right. He's got his target. That's Cross Taylor. He makes the catch and stiff arm, stays in bounds. Touchdown Lapwai. Cross Taylor with the excellent catch and run.
Yeah, sure hands right there. We saw him play defense just a smidge ago and bat the ball down, and sometimes they say that guys that play defense that way can't catch the ball, and Taylor right there saying, no, wait, I can catch it on both sides. Just give me an opportunity. So excellent job, excellent execution right there by the Wildcats. And
now it's 52-14. Some tough sledding here for the Knights as they look to carve their way back into this game. If their offense has kind of come to a stop after those 2 quick touchdowns, Lapwai made the adjustments. Credit to them. 2-point conversion attempt here. Lapwai's been on a roll with this. Year out, back to pass, looking. He's got a corner out open. It was dropped at first, but he brought it in, and that's what matters. Yeah,
it looks like he caught it 2 or 3 times there, but sure hands there. And they have that same look that Lapwai was trying to correct when Logos came out in it, where you have that bunch set and you have receivers kind of crossing over each other, and linebackers and corners can easily get lost in the shuffle of that. And that's the reason why Lapwai was probably nervous when they were having to defend that. So excellent play design.
And that was Terrell Ellenwood-Jones on the reception for the 2-point conversion. And the score now, Lapwai 54, Logos 14. It's a 40-point game here in the first half. And, Jason and I we covered a bit of a rough outing last night for the home team as well. It's just not good for the home teams right now.
Yeah, it's a rough go of it. And that's where some of these teams are just kind of built for now and some are built for the future. And Coach Hardy over there on the camera is showing you that the flag seems to be moving a little bit, which means that the wind is picking up on the Palouse, which means the temperature is going to go down.
Yeah,
so
I don't like that.
You jinxed us.
Gee whiz.
All of you say, isn't it you saying, oh, I love October. The temperature comes down. Now it's too cold for you.
Us gingers just can't be made happy. 3:02 left here in the first half. And folks, just FYI, if you want to be doing what Jason and I are doing, you can. We're always looking for more talent here. We're looking for camera operators. We're looking for producers. We're looking for salespeople. We're looking for broadcasters and more to join the IdahoSports.com team. Send in your resume or email editor@IdahoSports.com. That's how long I've been doing this. I've got it memorized. As Lapwai kicks it away inside the 20, Solomon Howard picks it up. He's out past the 30, and he's tripped up from behind, and he's brought down at the 32-yard line, we'll call it.
Well, and we've seen Howard break that kind of tackle before, and so that's in Logos' favor right there, where he gets an extra touch. We've seen him getting some special attention by the defense, and then all of a sudden he gets a return like that. He might be able to pick something up and get some yards.
Solomon Howard, on his first return of the game, brought it out past midfield into Lapwai territory close to the 30-yard line, and then one play later, Logos scored. That was how they put their first points on the board. Since then, it's been tough sledding. 54-14, 2:57 to go as the Knights snap the ball for the first time on this drive, and it is swallowed up quickly by essentially that entire front four for Lapwai, and that was Comus who took the handoff and went nowhere.
Yeah, frustrating for Comus, but sign of respect when they know that you're going to get it, and everybody shows up there to greet themselves.
So that is going to be a loss of 5. 2nd and 15 now, we'll call it. Logos has been going backwards on offense recently, unfortunately. Never a good trend when you're trying to go towards the end zone. Driscoll in the shotgun. 3 receivers in the set. Driscoll throws it deep over the top. He's got his target. Incomplete. That was number 33, who is not in the program, so good route run, whoever that is. Flag down.
We do have a flag down near not at the line of scrimmage, but near the line of scrimmage on the receiver side, so it'll be interesting to see if there might have been a hold before the ball left the quarterback's hand. Again, great matchup over there with number 33, the Ghost, and Taylor, where you just have great receivers, great athletes over there battling one another.
We'll see what the call is here. And it's holding on Lapwai. So it is going to be Logos is going to get some help here. And it's going to bring up 2nd and about 6, we'll call it.
And you don't get the first down, but you do get to keep the down, so it doesn't cost you anything with the incompletion.
Shotgun set here for the Knights. 2 wide receivers on the near side, 1 on the far side. Comus goes in motion. Driscoll takes the snap. It's a slant route across the middle to number 33, who makes the catch and is able to get upfield a little bit, but he's brought down before he can get to that first down marker, and that'll bring up 2nd and 5. So really, he's only able to pick up a couple yards there.
Yeah, but it definitely makes it a more manageable down and distance, and puts Lapwai in a little bit of a pickle here, which, again, Coach Layton doesn't want to be in this situation, but in order to get in the playoffs and all of that, this is going to be important for them to get some of these kinks worked out.
3rd and 1. Playbook is wide open for Logos here. Comus in the backfield, as well as Aiden Elmore and Driscoll, the quarterback. 2 receivers in the set on either side. Bunch formation. And they're going to hand it to Elmore. He lost the handoff there for a second. Ball's being pulled at, and he's brought down to the backfield. Again, just not a good handoff exchange there for the Knights.
Yeah, a little bit of a weird mesh point, but definitely one of those where he's lucky to keep it. But looked like he was trying to pick his way through the madness there, and lucky to just have the ball on 4th down.
Just over a minute to go here in the first half. Clock is still rolling, and frankly, I'm sure Logos is fine seeing the clock continue to roll. Seamus Wilson now in at quarterback, or at least he went in onto the field. Freshman. And there are going to be a lot of freshmen on this Logos team going forward next year, as there's only going to be 2 seniors on the roster next year. So potential for the future, but next year is going to be a little bit more of an inexperienced roster. And Wilson takes it himself. He's going to run for the first down, and it looks like he got it.
Well, and that's probably why they made the quarterback change right there. You just need a guy to get in there, run north-south, pick his hole, pick his gap, and get what he can. And he ends up with the first down and gets a little bit of momentum. And like you said, there's not much time before the halftime, but definitely one of those where you don't want to give the ball back to Lapwai.
That's correct. And there's a timeout on the field after that first down run there from Seamus Wilson with 18 seconds to go here. And I'm assuming the call was from Logos, who now want to take some shots at the end zone maybe. They are spotted on their own 45-yard line, so they've got a ways to go before they can get there. But with quarterback like old Jack Driscoll, flinging the ball around, maybe they get the ball downfield into striking range.
Yeah, and that's we've seen them have a lot of success on different games, and so that's definitely their go-to. Sorry, Garrison. I was just going to say quickly that you just got to make sure you put it where your guy can get it or no one can get it. You don't want Lapwai to get their hands on it, because they could easily turn this back to a pick six or offensive possession.
18 seconds left. 1st and 10. Ball spotted at the 45-yard line for Logos. Driscoll takes the snap, looking. He's going to throw a quick deep shot over to Solomon Howard, who bats it away. And like you said, that could have been that was a defensive play there from Howard.
Yeah. So you're happy with the incompletion on that one, I think. But I like the idea. Get some shots in there. Logos should be really proud of their season. It's probably not turned out exactly the way they wanted, but they have some older kids and really some foundational things that have been going on, and they probably have a couple of more plays in their playbook that they were preparing for tonight. And what the heck, you might as well use them up before the game's over.
2nd and 10 here. 3 receivers in the set once again. Solomon Howard, the dangerous target here on the near side. 2 on the far side. Driscoll, he's going to look to the far side, and this time it's a deep out route to Comas. Comas tries to go inside, juke move. He's got the inside of the field instead, and he's spun forward, and that'll be a first down, so the clock will stop, but it kept running. So we'll see if the refs put some more time on the board here.
Yeah, it looks like 3 seconds potentially. Really one of those where in high school football, when you get the first down, the chains move should stop the clock. It looks like Coach Holloway had one more timeout in his pocket. He's going to want to use it, maybe one more shot. Talk about respect right there. Comas catches the ball with no white shirts around him, which is a sign that they were respecting his speed and they didn't want to have him beat him deep. So that puts Logos in some business right here, right before halftime with one play, maybe a tiny bit of trickeration, and get the ball to some of those playmakers you're talking about.
So you're saying we're not going to see a field goal?
No, I don't think we're going to see a field goal.
From here, from that distance, that would be a 58-yarder, 59-yarder.
It would be impressive if we did.
Yep.
But I don't think we will. Sometimes 10 seconds on that. Sometimes when teams have an exchange kid, especially soccer kids, I've been guilty of that. Get them out there as a kicker and see what can happen. We have kicked a couple of field goals in the but you don't. That's not typically your go-to, simply because you only have 6 guys up there to protect when 8 guys are coming.
Not something you see here on the White Pine that
no.
often.
I think you're probably going to want to throw it to Comas or Howard out of this.
And it looks like that's what they're going to do with Solomon Howard isolated alone on the near side of the field. Comas is going to line up in the slot on the far side. Still don't have the number for that night over there. We're going to have to ask around. There is no 33. 1st and 10. Driscoll, last play of the half. It's a deep post to Howard, who makes the catch, but he can't go anywhere after that. Good coverage from number 21. That was Terrell Ellenwood Jones. 3rd time's the charm, as they say. And that is going to be the end of the first half.
I wonder, with both of them running posts like that, if Ellenwood Jones didn't just stop a little pitching catch and pitch, rather, the old
hook and ladder.
Hook and ladder there, where he grabbed both arms and came down with him. I wonder if he was going to try and give it away, because 33 was in the area. So, anywho, nonetheless, we're heading to halftime.
Heading to halftime, that's right. It's 54-14 in favor of Lapwai. Lapwai in cruise, heading towards a 5-2 start on the season as playoff time looms. So we're going to take a quick break here on IdahoSports.com. We'll see you guys back after halftime.
At Toyota's national sales event, we don't just help you get the perfect vehicle. We're here to open new doors that lead to your road to greatness. Your journey starts at Toyota's national sales event.
Toyota, let's go places.
It's time to start planning for back to school. That's why I got my kids vaccinated for COVID-19, so they can be protected from COVID when they're back in the classroom. Kids 12 and older can get vaccinated. The vaccines have been researched and tested. They're safe and they work. Getting vaccinated was quick and easy. You can walk into a pharmacy to get one. We got our COVID-19 vaccine, and I hope everyone will choose to get vaccinated too.
Get a free COVID-19 vaccine today. Find a location near you at covidvaccine.idaho.gov.
A hit in the morning, another between class, after school, and more before bed. Vaping sucks you in quick. Not to mention all the chemicals and health problems everyone's talking about. That's why thousands of teens are ready to take back their life their own way with My Life, My Quit. When you sign up with us, you'll get a free and simple quit plan that makes it easier to stop vaping. Visit mylifemyquit.com or text Start My Quit to 36072.
At Valleywide Cooperative, we're here when you need us. For 100 years, we have been here to help you with food, fuel, and good old-fashioned advice. And for us, serving is more than a job, it's a way of life, which is why we pour so much into the communities around us. We've employed hundreds of your neighbors. We take pride in that, and in giving back millions in sponsorships, grants, donations, and scholarships. It's our way of saying thanks. We're Valleywide, and yesterday, today, and tomorrow, we're here for you.
Ads like this keep popping up, but I see through the hype because those vape clouds people claim are just water vapor contain as many as 31 different chemicals, like formaldehyde, the stuff they preserve dead bodies with. And while the flavors sound all harmless, we still have no idea what these ingredients could be doing to our bodies. But I already see vaping for exactly what it is. Get the real facts at BehindTheHaze.com.
I decided to get vaccinated because I wanted to protect myself and my family and my customers from COVID-19. When I went to get my COVID-19 vaccine, it was an easy process, is readily available. Since I got vaccinated, I'm confident I'm protected against the COVID-19 virus. My life has returned to business as usual.
We're Valleywide Country Store. For 100 years, we've been your #1 choice for food, fuel, farm supplies, and just about everything else you could need to get you through your day. We know you work until the job is done, and so do we. For gas on the go, or a little extra to help you get down the road, you can count on us. We are proud to employ your neighbors and to be a cornerstone of your community. We're Valleywide. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow, we're here for you.
At Toyota's national sales event, we don't just help you get the perfect vehicle. We're here to open new doors that lead to your road to greatness. Your journey starts at Toyota's national sales event.
Toyota, Let's go places.
It's time to start planning for back to school. That's why I got my kids vaccinated for COVID-19, so they can be protected from COVID when they're back in the classroom. Kids 12 and older can get vaccinated. The vaccines have been researched and tested. They're safe and they work. Getting vaccinated was quick and easy. You can walk into a pharmacy to get one. We got our COVID-19 vaccine, and I hope everyone will choose to get vaccinated too.
Get a free COVID-19 vaccine today. Find a location near you at covidvaccine.idaho.gov.
A hit in the morning, another between class, after school, and more before bed. Vaping sucks you in quick. Not to mention all the chemicals and health problems everyone's talking about. That's why thousands of teens are ready to take back their life their own way with My Life, My Quit. When you sign up with us, you'll get a free and simple quit plan that makes it easier to stop vaping. Visit mylifemyquit.com or text Start My Quit to 36072.
At Valleywide Cooperative, we're here when you need us. For 100 years, we have been here to help you with food, fuel, and good old-fashioned advice. And for us, serving is more than a job, it's a way of life, which is why we pour so much into the communities around us. We've employed hundreds of your neighbors. We take pride in that, and in giving back millions in sponsorships, grants, donations, and scholarships. It's our way of saying thanks. We're Valleywide, and yesterday, today, and tomorrow, we're here for you.
Ads like this keep popping up, but I see through the hype because those vape clouds people claim are just water vapor contain as many as 31 different chemicals, like formaldehyde, the stuff they preserve dead bodies with. And while the flavors sound all harmless, we still have no idea what these ingredients could be doing to our bodies. But I already see vaping for exactly what it is. Get the real facts at BehindTheHaze.com.
I decided to get vaccinated because I wanted to protect myself and my family and my customers from COVID-19. When I went to get my COVID-19 vaccine, it was an easy process, is readily available. Since I got vaccinated, I'm confident I'm protected against the COVID-19 virus. My life has returned to business as usual.
We're Valleywide Country Store. For 100 years, we've been your #1 choice for food, fuel, farm supplies, and just about everything else you could need to get you through your day. We know you work until the job is done, and so do we. For gas on the go, or a little extra to help you get down the road, you can count on us. We are proud to employ your neighbors and to be a cornerstone of your community. We're Valleywide. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow, we're here for you.
At Toyota's national sales event, we don't just help you get the perfect vehicle. We're here to open new doors that lead to your road to greatness. Your journey starts at Toyota's national sales event.
Toyota, let's go places.
It's time to start planning for back to school. That's why I got my kids vaccinated for COVID-19, so they can be protected from COVID when they're back in the classroom. Kids 12 and older can get vaccinated. The vaccines have been researched and tested. They're safe and they work. Getting vaccinated was quick.
We're live. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to our broadcast here on IdahoSports.com. In the booth, or in the stands, rather, it's Jason Hansen, the coach, and myself, Garrison Hardy, bringing the action to you here from Moscow, Idaho, as the Lapwai Wildcats are taking care of business. Let me go ahead and put the scoreboard up for you. It's currently 54-14 in favor of Lapwai. So, Jason, obviously you came a little bit late to the show, as you were kind of our reporter in the field, as it were, covering some of our White Pine volleyball stuff that's going on. So first, let's kind of recap what happened early on in this game. So the first 4 drives, both teams scored every single time. It was 14-14, and ever since then, it's just been smooth sailing for Lapwai, and here we are 40 points later, 54-14, or 44 points rather later, 54-14. So
can I stop you right there? So
yeah.
was it in the, of course the people were watching it, but if you showed up late like I did, shame. But was it on the ground? Was it in an air? Was it a mix? What did we see?
So first it was on the ground. Titus Yearout, by way of Titus Yearout, a 55-yard touchdown run, and then they started mixing it in through the air and on the ground respectively. Pretty evenly balanced attack here from Lapwai. They like to mix in the I formation, and then they'll spread it out and go from the gun. So very balanced attack from Lapwai as far as how they mixed it up. If you're Logos here and you're looking at that scoreboard over there, season, like you said, it's been up and down, mostly down, unfortunately, but they're a young team, inaugural season on varsity. What's one thing you can do to maybe get things started on a positive note?
Well, I would imagine Coach Holloway, he knows his troops really well, that he's thinking, okay, let's wash away the scoreboard. They've shown with the big boys, they went toe-to-toe for, like you said, that half a quarter with Lapwai, which is the number 2 out of the White Pine League. Just hang your hat on the pride of this second half, and really one of those things where they've shown some aspects of their game that they can get some points, and they just definitely want to come back to that, as well as they do have one more game against Lewis County, who put up some massive points last night. So they're going to want to finish on a high note themselves, and Coach Holloway and our seniors, which we've talked about, a lot of seniors on the roster, really want to come out and do themselves proud. They've had a great season as far as being that foundation piece of whatever comes next, and they want to finish as strong as they can, and I bet Coach Holloway is going to do that right here.
So the clock says fourth quarter, but it's actually the third, as Solomon Howard takes it inside the 20 on the return. He started out coming to the near side, goes right back to the far side. He's only got Sage Longbear to beat, and he does! Solomon Howard, his second, a big kickoff return of the day, but his first kickoff return for a touchdown of the day.
And that's exactly the what Coach Holloway was looking for, where his guys came out of the locker room and or I should say the end zone huddle, and Howard gets them on the board right there, quick strike, want to win the second half, and it was set up for them where they ended up with the ball to start, and so right out of the gate they're doing themselves proud.
54-20 now the score after that quick strike. 34-point lead now, and Logos will now try to go for 2. Been a little inconsistent this season when it comes to going for 2. We'll see what they come up with here. Comas and Elmore in the backfield next to Driscoll. Solomon Howard on the near side. Lapwai showing pressure. Driscoll takes the snap, drops back, throws it into the end zone. It's lofted into heavy coverage, and it's incomplete there. And the 2-point conversion is no good.
You mentioned it. It's one of those where they want to get the ball to their big playmakers right there. The Lapwai crew is definitely ready for that. Big bat down there by Mason Brown, number 4.
So, we talked about starting the second half out on a positive for Logos. They did that, but now the question is, can they get any stops against this Lapwai offense? They have yet to do so.
Yeah, and that's pick your poison. We've seen them. You mentioned that Titus Yearout can do it with his feet. We've seen them run the ball successfully at times. We've seen them throw the ball around the yard here. So which one do you want to have? The wind's picking up, so maybe you try and stop the ground game and make them throw the ball and put a spy on him maybe athlete versus athlete, put somebody like Howard or Comas who's just going to spy you out from their linebacker spot. Don't rush, but try and keep him contained and see if they can't do some damage that way.
11:46 to go, so 14 seconds come off the clock from the beginning of the half, the kickoff to that touchdown return. And now Logos will send it back to Lapwai. 31-27 the score in 8 miles away in Pullman, as Washington State and the Stanford Cardinal are doing battle in the Pac-12. Stanford with the lead, 31-27, 3 minutes to go in that one. So hoping my Cougs can pick it up just a little bit. And we just about got attacked by a spider web coming through.
I think it was aiming for you and almost got me.
Well, I despise spiders, so you may have heard my voice get a little bit higher if that happened. And the kickoff will be taken at the 20 by Mason Brown. Brown trying to get to the outside, and he does. He's trying to get to the sideline. He's got it. Liev Comas cutting him off. And Logos finally surrounds him and brings him down, but not before he gets inside the Logos 30. What a kick return there from Mason Brown.
Yeah, nice job. He baits him up the middle, and then he breaks it to the outside and turns on the Jets. And good job by the Knights right there. They didn't give up on it, and they got him turned back into the herd and got him corralled.
Brown is only a sophomore, by the way. This is a team, this Wildcat team, very athletic from end to end. Starting on one side here with Cross Taylor, number 3. On the far side, you have Terrell Ellenwood-Jones, who's shown his elusiveness. Then you got Titus Yearout at quarterback. They just got athletes all over the field, is Lapwai.
Yeah, Coach Layton has been their basketball coach, their football coach. He's recruited well, the hallways that is, and just got their guys where they need to be, and their offensive line does a nice job of keeping Titus Yearout clean as well.
So 1st and 10 for Lapwai inside the 30. Yearout tries to get to the outside, but he can't do it as Ben Carlson, the freshman, brings him down before he can get much of anything going.
And right there, Ben Carlson hears what I said and calls me a liar just simply by breaking off the block and getting him corralled before he could get started on another big run.
So 2nd and 12 now after the loss of 2 there. Ball is still inside the 30, marked it at the 26-yard line after that loss on the play. Again, 2 receivers in the set here for Lapwai, I formation look. Logos is showing a 3-and-3 set here. 2 outside linebackers in the set as they try to hold contain. Mason Brown has to go back inside. Excellent containment there from Logos, but there is a flag down.
Yes, that outside defensive end, which I believe was Aiden Elmore, which we've talked about him in past games. If it wasn't him, and then it was Lucius Comas, and he did a nice job as well, where they just kind of force him back into the herd, which is an important piece because Lapwai is going to try and get you going up, and then they're going to try and break it outside, and that time they were able to force him back into the middle and got him stopped. And we ended up with a penalty here.
And it looks like holding on the offense, so Logos gets even more help there. 45-31 in favor of the Oklahoma Sooners in the Big 12, who, by the way, are joining the SEC next year. Probably a bad move on their part.
Yeah, gotta love it.
Second and very long here. Yearout drops way back, flag on the play, and this will be what looks to be a touchdown. And it is. Touchdown, Lapwai. That was number 23, Elias Yearout, but we'll see what the flag is.
It might have been an illegal shift. It looked like right before the snap, a whole bunch of players were in not complete motion, but they were doing something shifty. Excellent play design.
So that was an illegal shift there. That's going to be another 5-yard penalty. So this is second and almost a mile, it looks like.
Yeah, but with athletes, they just love that. Go ahead and push us back. That way when you count out how many yards my reception was, it's going to be a longer touchdown instead of the short one. So
they're back. They're back at the 41-yard line here. They started this drive at the 30, inside the 30, so they've gone backwards 10 yards here with penalties. So that is something that Coach Layton will definitely be discussing with his team going forward as we head towards the playoffs. Titus Year out in the gun. 2 receivers in a bunch set, 1 back in the backfield and kind of a flex back here. Year out, he's going to roll left. Similar place call, and it's incomplete. Maybe some confusion there on some of the route combinations as the ball falls and hits the turf.
Yeah, it looked very similar, but it must have been a different play because it didn't have the same result. Logos was also trying to counter shift with some of their guys. You saw there late the linebackers are kind of bumping defensive ends and corners in different spots to try and make sure that they were covering for all that.
And now it is 3rd and what looks to be 30, over 30 yards for Lapwai. So they're going to call a timeout and talk about this. For Logos right now, they've got 34 points in front of them, but if they're able to get a stop here and maybe put some points on the board on the other end, cut it to a 27-point lead, who knows? That suddenly it's looking it's closer to a 3-possession game.
Yeah, and really it's one of those where Coach Holloway, with the inaugural season of them playing in the SEC, the White Pine League, that it's really one of those things where this is something, again, for him to get his guys, older guys that he's known from their seasons past because they played in the JV level and played D2. It's something for them to be proud of. If they can go toe-to-toe with Lapwai in this half. Granted, the scoreboard is going to tell you a different story, but it's something that maybe 3-4 years from now they can look back to this night and what happened here. Because sometimes championships can be born on a year 3 or 4 years ago where freshmen see their guys out there battling.
So 3rd and very long. Ball spotted at the 40-yard line. Year out, takes the snap. 3 receivers go deep. This looks like a Hail Mary. Year out tries to step up, and he's brought down. Excellent pressure from that front 3 of Logos.
Yep, that was the same crew I just highlighted right there, where number 32, sorry about that, shifting my papers around here, Comus, who's a freshman. Again, that bodes well for them in the future, as well as number 55, which is Sundley, which is a sophomore, and number 43, who's the old guy there, Aiden Elmore. So it's really one of those things where just that whole concept of them doing damage with different players, and maybe that was Ben Carlson out there. I apologize for Ben. But the point being the same, that they have some big-time stuff going on.
And this could be a punt, or maybe they'll just throw a Hail Mary and see what happens.
Hail
it looks
Mary
like
time.
They're doing it. Year out, rolls right, looking, throws a deep corner route, and it right through the hands of Cross Taylor and incomplete.
I think Howard would tell you it was great coverage, but I think Taylor might have dropped the ball right there, not on purpose, obviously, because he's a gamer and he's going to want to pick up that first down. But this is what Logos was looking for. Again, ignore the scoreboard for a moment. You just got to make sure you do what you can in the second half. Clock is running the whole time. Coaches, when you're up by 40 in the 8-man ranks, you can choose to finish the game, or you can call the game, or you can actually play it out minute by minute. But they went ahead and said, let's have a running clock. So the clock is actually running now, even though it's a dead ball. And Logos is back in business.
Back in business and hustling to the line here. 1st and 10, ball on the 43-yard line. Driscoll in the gun. He's going to send Aiden Elmore in motion, and he throws a little bubble pass out to the left side, and he is brought down. That was the speeding bullet, Titus Year out, and comes out of the secondary and brings him down after a very short pickup.
Yeah, and Lapwai is going to want to, Coach Layton from their side is going to say that they need to keep improving and put a stop to this momentum that Logos has. And that's a quick way to do it when your leader, Titus Year out, goes from his linebacker spot all the way to the edge and makes that solo tackle.
And the Logos faithful starting to make some noise here, which you'd probably want to save that for defense. But in any case, Driscoll throws it deep over the middle, and it's incomplete. He had Liev Comus break in wide open, just wasn't able to connect there.
And Titus Year out, his cover man was kind of looking around going, oh, boy, we got lucky there. Your crowd probably was predicting the touchdown, and they felt it coming, but just couldn't connect.
And a quick interruption there. Washington State retakes the lead 34-31 with 1 minute 30 seconds to go. So the Cougs could be picking up another big win here over this Stanford team who beat Oregon earlier this season, handed Oregon their first loss when Oregon was ranked number 3 in the country. So this could be a quality win here for Coach Rolovich and the Cougs.
And as usual, the Pac-12 kind of beats themselves up and knocks themselves out of contention.
3rd and 10. Ball is spotted at the 43. Driscoll in the gun, 3 receivers in the set, sends Comus in motion. Takes the snap, 3 deep routes. 1 over the top, he's got his man, it's caught! Inside the 10 and finally brought down. Cross Taylor able to catch up with them and bring him down and save the touchdown.
Yeah, nice job there by 33, securing the ball first. He knew he was going to get caught by Taylor. Taylor tries to poke at the ball a couple of times before making the tackle and puts Logos in business near the goal line. And Coach Layton's probably over there thinking, gosh, dang it, what the heck? Coach Hasselstrom had the same problem last night. You get up and the other team just doesn't quit, and that's how it is in the White Pine League. You just got to bring it every play.
So 54-20, 3.5 to go here. For some reason, the scoreboard still shows the 4th quarter, but we're in the 3rd. Shotgun look here for the Knights as Driscoll throws it towards the end zone, and it's incomplete. Liev Comus was the intended target. Good coverage there from Lapwai.
Yeah, you don't often see it slip through Comus's hands. That time, I think he'd like to have that one back for another try, which, given down in distance, probably see him get the ball a couple more times.
So clock keeps rolling here. It's running clock, 3 minutes. And then now they correct it to the 3rd quarter. 54-20 here. 3 receivers in the set. Aiden Elmore in the backfield next to Jack Driscoll. Driscoll takes the snap, surveys the field, throws kind of a duck pass out to the side there, and it's caught by Liev Comus, and there's a flag in the backfield as well. It looked like it could be roughing the passer.
Yeah, it looked like he got tackled after he let the ball go. Nice pass, so under duress. He knows he's going to get hit probably, and does a nice job getting the ball to his receiver. And Comus with sure hands on that one and gets it near the goal line.
So that will be a penalty on top of the completion there. So we'll see where they spot this. With just under 2 minutes to go now in the 3rd quarter. It's going to be 1st and goal here. Ball spotted just inside the 5. 1 wide receiver on either side. Correction, now we have Comus lines up in the slot on the near side. Aiden Elmore in the gun next to Driscoll. And Driscoll fakes it and strolls into the end zone rather for the touchdown.
Again, Coach Holloway's got to be proud of the way his guys are battling. His coach has got a nice little scheme going on right there where they empty everybody out. The linebacker leaves, creates that hole. Defensive end kind of left him a lane, and he just heads up play right there and gets the touchdown.
So that cuts the lead to, well, if they score the 2-point conversion, that'll cut the lead to 26. And we have a final score here. Washington State defeats Stanford 34-31.
Fist bump by Coach Dad right there.
So that is now a couple straight wins there for the Cougs as we have a corner route here on the 2-point conversion, and it is incomplete.
Another nice battle out there by receiver and defensive back. That time the defensive back won. And again, Coach Holloway's got to be proud of how his kids have come out of the second half. Forgot about the scoreboard. Time's against you, obviously, but you keep crawling back. Who knows what might happen? And one of those where now you got to get another stop because Lapwai's offense is going to get the ball.
Yeah, with 1:38 to go here, that's even with a running clock, that's still enough time for Lapwai to march down the field and put some more points on the board. And really, that last drive where the penalties really stacked up for Lapwai, that was the first time Logos got the stop on defense.
Yeah, and maybe he's calling his guys out. Do you want to kick deep and play some defense, or do you want to try and onside it here and crawl your way back? He's got some good momentum going on. Obviously, he knows his guys better. clock will run no matter what happens, no matter, obviously it's cut within the 40-point margin, so it doesn't stop running now that you're within that. So Lapwai's going to give quick strike ability. Do you want it to be on a short field or a long field? But at least with an onside kick, you get a chance to maybe get the ball.
So Logos makes their way out. Lapwai is set to receive the kick deep. So we'll see what Logos comes up with. I keep wanting to say Lewiston. We got so many L's floating around in here.
Yeah, well, and Lewiston did well last night and secured a spot, whether it be champion of the league spot or the at large. Got into the playoffs last night, so maybe that's where you're predicting what's going to happen.
Well, if they beat Coeur d'Alene, that would be quite the bounce-back season for Coach Pancari and the Lewiston Bengals, a 5A school we cover very regularly here up in District 2. And they secured their spot in the postseason, rather, after they defeated Post Falls last night. And the Knights will send it deep here. And it bounces past Mason Brown, but he's able to come back and corral it. He tries to go to the far side, and he's brought down. Excellent tackle there, and that's going to be the furthest starting position that Lapwai has to work with.
Yeah, and that's some senior leadership there by Aiden Elmore, number 43, playing some special teams right there. We've highlighted him on defense and doing a nice job of getting through all those blockers. And we've seen Brown hit him for some big yards, and then they had him corralled quick and got him down. So excellent job by Logos defense here. Better late than never.
54-26, and now the clock will roll under a minute. Is running clock once again. And so Lapwai is content, I'm sure, to take their time on this drive. And heck, they could potentially bleed a quarter and a half before they even get into the red zone if they wanted. I formation here for the Wildcats as they're going to fake. They are going to hand it off up the middle here. Mason Brown has been the workhorse on the ground, and he does some more damage there. Picks up a couple, makes it 2nd and about 5.
Yeah, they got to him quick, but it's still a 5-yard gain, and really one of those with a running clock. It doesn't really matter if you run or pass. The clock's going to run either way, so there's not that incomplete stoppage of clock.
So 15 seconds now, and man, the clock is really, time is coming off. 9 seconds as they run the final play of the third quarter and get close to that first down marker. And that is going to be the end of the third quarter. So, folks, we've played 3. Our score here in Moscow, Idaho, Lapwai 54, Logos 26. We'll be right back after these short messages.
A hit in the morning, another between class, after school, and more before bed. Vaping.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here to Moscow, Idaho, as the Logos Knights have, they scored and made it a little bit more competitive here. 54-26 the score now, but now Lapwai has the ball, and with a running clock, they can really melt some time off of there and potentially close this thing out, Jason.
Yeah, and at the same time, as a playoff team, you want to be polished. You just want to survive against a team like Logos, who's giving you a lot of trouble. It's really one of those situations where you want to make sure that you head into, they have Potlatch on their schedule next, Lapwai does, and so you just don't want to kind of go through the motions for the rest of this quarter. You got to want to come out and be fired up. Looks like Logos is starting to get a little momentum on their side, and they're definitely coming out here a little more fired up than they were a little bit earlier, and so they kind of taste a little blood in the water here on defense.
And Lapwai hands it right up the middle to the fullback, and he's brought down.
And right on cue. Look at the defense rattling up right there, wanting to make a stand here, not giving the ball, get the easy first down. It looks like they might force the 4th down. Have we seen Lapwai punt yet tonight?
We have not. So 4th and 1. Lapwai huddling up, deciding what they want to do here.
My money is it's not a punt, and you're going to see you're out with a little bit of a scramble motion here.
I formation here. Logos showing pressure. They're going to hand it right up the middle to Mason Brown, and Logos could have gotten the stop. We'll see where they spot this. The ref is coming in close to the sticks.
Yeah, it's going to be close. Yeah, so fired up Lapwai group here, or I'm sorry, Logos group, but
it looks like it was the first down, though. They may have gotten enough.
Huh. Okay. What I like is the spark on both sides. A little bit of a drive block there by Lapwai on offense, and Logos defense inspired. I like it.
We'll see what's happening here. The officials
I would assume we're going to get a chains out. Coach Holloway is saying, give me some chains.
It looks like they called it a first down, but we'll see if they do bring the chains out here. That looked pretty close from our vantage point.
They do, but if you're a Logos fan, that doesn't stop the clock. And so as much as it's part of the dead ball part of the game, it's great that they could get a stop here. It's going to be one of those where it's probably going to take a minute or more off the clock.
So a costly measurement here. Let's see what they come up with. And it is short. It's going to be Logos ball.
But they'll take the minute off the clock because they get the ball back. Got that important stop.
Turnover on downs. That is the first time that Lapwai has been kicked off the field.
And again, that's the kind of stuff that Logos down the road, not to get in the old personal history book, but in 2003 we were not very good. But those seniors really came to play when we were definitely outmatched. In 2004, we started a little bit of a run, first, and second. So it's really one of those where you could have that happen here on this night, where if they could go toe-to-toe with Lapwai. Now it's going to be interesting to see if Lapwai comes out with a little fire in their belly to say, okay, let's put a stop to this.
1st and 10. Ball inside the 40. Elmore goes in motion to the far side. It's going to be deep over the middle, and it's just out of reach. Liev Comas was the targeted man, and he outran Titus Year out there over the top.
Yeah, we haven't said that too many times tonight, but definitely one of those where he had a lot more time than he was giving himself. Probably needs to take a playbook out of Cy Wareham's playbook from last night, where he put a little more air under it, almost a punt look, where Comas could just catch it there on the goal line and kind of throw it in the bucket and reach out and catch it. So good call. He was wide open. Just like to have a little bit better throw.
2nd and 10 now. Shotgun set once again for the Knights. 2 receivers to the far side of the field. Driscoll takes the snap, being pressured from both sides. He's going to throw a deep corner route to Comas. Once again, incomplete. Year out was near him once again, and Comas is obviously the favorite target right now.
Yeah, for sure. And, the defensive line from Lapwai is getting a push, but they're not completely in the lap of Driscoll. So hats off to the Logos offensive lineman there to keep him clean and let him set up for some of those passes.
3rd and 10. After the big stop on defense, Logos is now in danger of it turning into a 4th down scenario here. Shotgun look once again. 2 receivers to the far side, Solomon, Howard, and Comas. And Driscoll takes the snap, and it's a little screen play here to Elmore. Elmore breaks a tackle, but he's still dragged down from behind by Mason Brown, it looks like. That's who made the tackle.
Yeah, I was just going to highlight River Sumter, the center from Logos right there, doing a good job on Sage Lone Bear, because Sage Lone Bear is a big dude, and he's doing a good job of keeping him there. That screen pass, what a great call right there. Let that defensive line run, try and get some separation, but they just left one guy in there to sneak in, and he was hanging on to Jersey and got him down.
4th and 6. This is it right here, folks, if Logos wants any chance in this game. Driscoll in the gun. Takes the snap, blitz up the middle. Driscoll throws it over the top, and miscommunication there as the receiver looked inside, but the ball went outside, and that likely the well has officially dried up at this point, Jason.
Yeah, and on the other side of the ball there, Coach Layton's got to be happy with Taylor right there. He in the past, he was grabbing, kind of getting nervous, just played defense and got where he needed to be. And yeah, definitely one of those where probably deflated some of the crowd here. But, again, nice effort. Now it's going to be time for Logos defense to bow back up.
First and 10 now for the Wildcats as they hope to polish this one off and go home with a victory. Trips to the far side of the field. Year out takes the snap, throws a deep crossing route, and it's Cross Taylor who makes the catch. And he's brought down by Solomon Howard from behind. And that's a first down and some as he is now in Logos territory. Ball is going to be spotted close to the 46-yard line.
Yeah, Taylor doing a nice job right there, securing the ball. Comes up a little slow because that ground is getting cold and hard now. But he's going to keep himself in the game.
So is Solomon Howard, it appears.
Yeah, it's hard on both teams.
Gee whiz. Ball spotted at the 49-yard line, First and 10 for the Wildcats. Clock is rolling towards 6 minutes now here in the fourth. 54-26. Year out takes the snap, pump fake. Over the top to Taylor again. And Taylor into the end zone for the touchdown. And Lapwai officially slams the door.
Looked like a similar play design, and Taylor stings him there for the similar play. Was able to shake off the little bit of the bruise of the cold ground and gets himself in the end zone right there. Nice ball by Titus Year out with the soft throw, just putting it where it needed to be, and only Taylor was going to be able to catch that.
So 60-26 the score now. 5:54 to go. The clock will stop as they set up for the two-point conversion here. Is Lapwai. So, Jason, let's look ahead for Lapwai now. You and I were talking during halftime about the playoff picture and whatnot. I guess we can talk about the rest of the White Pine too. As Year out pump fakes, throws it to a little out route here, and it's good. The two-point conversion is in. So let's talk, I guess, about the White Pine in general. Sounds like we could have more than 2 or 3 teams going in.
Yeah, it's possible we could end up with a fourth. I'm not sure if there's a limit to it. Again, it comes back to the RPI rating, the whole how do we look, and that's the reason why it's important for some of these teams like Lapwai to look good on paper and keep in the games like this. It would normally be a blowout, and it's not that big of an issue, but one of those where it may come down to the voters as to whether or not you're a home team next week or in a couple of weeks, or you're an away team based on the eye test. And so I bring that up simply because Lapwai has another game next week. We'll be doing that audio only between Lapwai and Potlatch, which will be a battle of old school White Pine CIL teams, rather, when they used to be 2A. And so I bring that up simply because it's going to be important. Both of those teams are going to be fighting for position not only within the rankings, but also the positioning between if they're a home team on the at-large round of the playoffs, or you either host if you're the upper division, or you're traveling, and it could be all the way to the bottom of the state, and the South has to come all the way north. So there's a lot to play for in the next couple of weeks for the Lapwai side, as well as Potlatch. Genesee has the big battle between Kendrick, which is a Division II, hoping to be a champion team, and so there's a battle there, as well as for Logos. They have Lewis County, who's an old D2 foe who put up a boat ton of points last night against Timberline. So it's going to be an exciting last week. Down south, there's a number of teams like Oakley and Raft River who have to play, and that's for seeding and who is the champion and gets the first round bye. So there's lots of exciting stuff coming in the next couple of weeks.
And here's the squib kick down the middle for Lapwai. Sends it to Liev Comas, who jukes around a little bit, finds a hole. He's out past the 40. He's out past midfield and shoved out of bounds. But again, Logos has some dangerous returners.
Yep, for sure. And that's the reason why the kick game can always be a mystery when you have to pick your poison between Comas and Howard, and both of them can sting you for great yardage.
5:26 now and counting as the clock starts rolling again. 62-26 the score here in the fourth. Logos takes over. Ball's going to be spotted at the 47. 3 receivers in the set, has been a custom here for Logos tonight. Man-to-man across the formation. Blitz up the middle. Driscoll looking. He's got Comas, his favorite target. He's probably thrown to Comas over a dozen times tonight. And
well,
that
that's
one
why
is
he wears
incomplete.
number 12.
Well,
Sorry, Garrison, stepped on you a little bit. I was going to say, too, folks, I would check out IdahoSports.com on a daily basis now simply because of the content. You have Bainey's bracket, and he pretty much laid out everything from 5A all the way down to the D2s. And I did a little homework, and I was cheating off his paper today to try and figure out what the heck's going on as well. So it's one of those where he's going to be updating that. You have the podcast, the prep cast, where you can catch up on, okay, my team might be playing these teams, how they've been doing, and you can go all the way back in the library to see how things are going and how things have been progressing.
2nd and 10, Driscoll. He throws a deep shot to
Nice
Comus
ball.
once again, and it's incomplete. But like Jason said, the ball was put where it needed to be.
Yep, just kind of a little bit of a misstep there by Comus. We don't see that very often, but with year out on you, you got to make sure you're playing mostly offense, but a touch of defense because you don't want him to get his hands on it either.
3rd and 10 after the incompletion there. 3:54 and counting. As we now head towards the end of this game, and Logos is going to dip to 2-6 on the season, but they have a great chance of ending the year at 3-6 as they face Lewis County next week. And Lewis County, you know, a smaller division school, and kind of been an up and down season for them as Solomon Howard dives, and it looks like it's incomplete. The ground may have popped that one loose, but excellent attempt there from Howard.
Yeah, nice job, and maybe just tried to sell it there where he, it looked like he might have got it there with his rolling and trying to get it. So it looks like he'll be coming back for a 4th down here, but I like the idea of trying to put the ball in the air, get a big chunk of yards here. Doesn't matter if there's a incomplete or a run play. You might as well go ahead and aim for the fences.
It's going to be now 3 minutes on the clock here in the 4th. 62-26. There I go. Logos coming out in the 3-receiver set, 4th and 10. This could be Logos' last chance with the ball. Blitz, heavy, and miscommunication there. It looked like there was an incorrect route combination, and that is going to do it for Logos on offense as the Knights come off the field, and the Wildcats will take over on downs with in Logos territory. But at this point in time, I'm sure Wildcats are going to be content to just let the clock start running out.
Yeah, they're going to be slow playing the ball here a little bit. You know, again, hats off to Coach Holloway with what he's got going on here. His guys really came out and made the second half exciting. Regardless how this thing ends up, they definitely contended here in the second half.
2 minutes, and we are heading towards the 2-minute warning that does not exist at the high school level. Year out, pitches it to Mason Brown out of the backfield, who's had a busy day today. He gallops forward and is pushed out of bounds close to the 1st down marker.
Nice job right there. We saw that little stop and go where he just kind of fakes those defenders. Nice piece of sportsmanship over there by the Lapwai and Logos kids kind of helping each other out, especially off that, we've mentioned that cold, hard ground. And everybody knows, okay, we got a minute left, clock's running. Let's play a little football, but let's keep it clean.
Minute and a half now, 2nd and 1. I formation look for Lapwai once again. And it looked like a fake to the fullback, pitch it out wide to Mason Brown, who spins away from numerous tackles and still going, finally out of bounds. And boy, Brown is tough to bring down.
Yeah, he definitely shows another aspect of those. We talk about Taylor, we talk about Titus year out, and then he's kind of that extra piece there that they're going to need as they develop into the playoff situation. You know, I'm not going to lie, Garrison, I hope a number of these White Pine League teams get to play up north because I'm thinking Kibbe Dome. So it's really one of those things where I'll be excited to see what the playoffs look like.
And weather-wise, I completely agree. Dome, please. 40 seconds left now as the clock continues to roll. Lapwai has slowed their pace down, and they're going to hand this one off to number 6. That's Dylan White checking in for Mason Brown, giving him a rest, and it's going to be a gain of 5 on that one. Lapwai now in great position. If they could go to Potlatch and beat a tough Logger team, that would put them to 6-2 and in great shape as we approach the playoffs.
Yeah, and that secures them the second spot. But again, it's kind of that eye test. But if they would have beaten Genesee and Potlatch, that would definitely look good to the voters.
And that they're not going to run another play, Jason. That is going to do it. That is the end of the game, folks. Our final score, Lapwai 62, Logos 26. We're going to step away for 30 seconds as we discuss our IdahoSports.com player of the game. Stay tuned. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here to Moscow, Idaho, as the Lapwai Wildcats just finished off their victory over Logos 62-26. They now move to 5-2 on the season. Logos falls to 2-6. So, Jason, big move there for Lapwai as regards to playoff spot. But let's talk about individuals here. The player of the game, and there are a lot of key performers on that Lapwai team over there.
Yeah, there is. And before we do that, let's highlight just a couple of the Logos players with Comas and Howard, and how we've seen them kind of throughout the course of this year. And they were big weapons to start, and they're the big weapons here tonight against the number 2 team in the White Pine League. So hats off to them. As we progress back to Lapwai, it's definitely one of those where Taylor's going to be a heck of a weapon down the road, and they're definitely going to have to keep healthy as they move forward against a tough Potlatch team.
Absolutely. And so, without further ado, the IdahoSports.com player of the game, Titus Yearout. And Titus Yearout, Jason, he was all over the place.
He was, and he did a great job as far as doing his thing, and he's going to be exciting to see not only this year but next at the Vandals.
Take a pause here as they sing the doxology. That's a pretty cool school tradition right there from Logos. That they are a classical Christian school, part of the ACCS, and they sing the doxology after every game, either win or lose. That's a pretty good way to end it. But Jason, back to Titus Yearout. There's a reason he's going to the U of I, and we saw his athleticism on full display tonight.
Yeah, without a doubt, and his leadership. He kind of rallied his troops, got things cleaned up. He's definitely one of the guy who helps them go, but he also knows to keep that ball spread around, that he doesn't want defenses to just trigger him and get him all penned in and all be about him, where he's going to want his guys to keep doing a good job up front, as well as catching his great passes and playing some good hard defense.
Well, folks, that's going to do it for us here on IdahoSports.com. Another game stream wrapping up. Our final score in this one, Lapwai